Now we are joined by Bears safety Eddie Jackson as he joins us here live at JL's Pizza and Sports Bar. Hello, Eddie. You got a nice crowd here for you tonight.
Nice crowd, man. This is a beautiful crowd. How y'all doing?
So as we get started, we're going to obviously have to break down the game from yesterday. But what's the latest with you? Are we going to see you in a Bears uniform hopefully very soon? Maybe Thursday night? Could we see that?
Yeah, that's the plan. Right
Awesome.
now, day by day, I'm feeling a lot better, so that's definitely the plan.
Absolutely. And so recently not practicing, like how is that for you, not being able to go out there and practice and prepare for these games? How do you feel about that?
It's tough. It's sometimes it gets frustrating, just not being out there with your team, especially to the type of start we off. I feel like we want everybody to be out there to contribute, So for me, not being out there, being a captain, a leader of the defense and the team, it just gets frustrating at times. But, I just try to do my best to stand around and coaching up the young guys and trying to give everyone high energy and continue to keep that hope.
With a defensive-minded head coach like Matt Eberflus and yourself, a veteran on the team, how much, you mentioned coaching, but how much are you involved in the meetings on that side now that, you can't go out there and contribute on the field, but you can teach because you guys have a very young team. You're one of the older guys on the team now, which is weird because you're not actually that old in the league. You're one of the older guys on the team and one of the veterans. How has that been for you being kind of on the quote coaching side?
It's been different. I just try to do my part, just as much as I can, like I said, coaching the young guys, telling them things that I see, even on the sideline, not trying to overwhelm them with too much information, giving them little tips and reminders when they're out there, certain things to look for, or even when we break down films, we do a lot of studying on Thursdays, like after the meetings, we do just the back seven with the DBs and linebackers. So just giving them little tips and reminders and just giving them insight from my point of view.
Do you coach Justin Fields at all? Do you help him and say, hey, look, this guy has this kind of tendency, this guy has this kind of tendency? Like, are you helping him with what he's looking at in a defense as a defensive player?
Not a lot. In practice we would give him certain things like, hey, try to fit that ball in there if you can. Even though we over top, just see if you can fit it in practice. We give him little tips, but we leave that to them guys. That's their side of the ball. It's a lot of things go on the offense side that we don't see. So we just leave that to them.
So let's address yesterday. Tough loss. The Broncos come back. They kick the field goal at the end. The turnover. The game's essentially over. We've discussed for the last hour here on the show, and we've taken a lot of phone callers. I thought when you have an opportunity to kick a field goal, to take a lead, and then allow the defense to kind of stand tall and to stop a team from driving to get that first victory of the season, that's the way I would have done it. I've been talking with Adam here on the show about that. Did you agree with the decision from Eberflus and the offensive coaching staff to go for it on 4th and short?
When the game came down to it, I feel like we did a lot of great things on offense. So he wanted to keep that momentum going for those guys, and put the ball in his playmaker's hands. So I understood why the call happened, and everyone on offense, I'm pretty sure those guys agreed with it too, especially they roll in, come out to a hot start, 21 points first half. Khalil, he had 100 yards rushing. Justin was doing his thing. So I feel like he wanted to, stick the knife in him. That was kind of the approach to it. We can sit here and contradict on the call, all day, because if we would have got the 4th and 1, nobody complained about it, and it's just sad that we came up short with the loss. But there's a lot of things we could take from that game, and I feel like it's going to be learning experiences for down the line in the future.
Would you prefer to play for a coach that takes that stance, that attitude of you guys go out and get the win, opposed to, let's be cautious, let's do this safe thing? Is that the type of coach you would prefer to play for?
Yeah, most definitely, because that's letting you know that he's going to do whatever it takes, and he's going to put his trust in his guys. And I feel like as a player, that's what you want. We know things not going our way. We had high expectations, which we still do. It's just right now we off to a slow start. And everyone in life, when you hit these type of things going on in your life, there's something big coming at the end. So that's just how we're going to continue to look at it and approach it and keep getting better, day in, day out. And just right now, we've just focused on getting one win and just start to get this thing turned around.
But deep down, this is just us. Deep down, as the defensive player, you want that chance to intercept the ball and be like, no, we ended the game, right? Like you want Russell Wilson to be like, no, okay, fine, drive down the field. I'm catching that football and I'm ending the game, right?
Yeah, like I said, it goes both sides. If you're an offensive guy, you're gonna want the ball in your hands. Let us end this. And if you're on the defensive side, you're gonna feel like, yeah, coach, let us end it. So I mean, it's kind of in between, but like I said, man, you just got to move on from. It's a big learning experience, from him, being a young head coach as well, and for us as players, because we do a lot of situational football where we go into meetings, we meet about these type of things, what we should call, how we should play it, and I mean, a lot of guys in that locker room would have called the same thing on 4th and 1. I'm not gonna lie to you, and feel like they would have went for it, and our defense is playing pretty good, you know, so. When you start to look at, both sides of this thing, how it went, you kind of see why he did the call. And I know a lot of people going to look from outside in and be like, we should have just kicked the field goal. But like I said, it's a learning experience.
Unfortunately, that you weren't out there yesterday to help the team. But when you were watching in the first half, the defense was playing very well. Situationally, something that Coach Eberflus has talked about, short field, force a punt, offense gets good field position, they go down and score, everything kind of the momentum rolls.
Yeah.
Did you notice anything from the defense in the second half that may have led to the Broncos coming back and scoring the points that they were not scoring in the first half? Did you see a difference in the defense from first half to second half?
The biggest thing I seen was just attention to detail, and it happens like that in the league. When you off to a high start, high energy, and you off to that early lead, it starts to wear down. So you got to just get it back on your mind, refocus. Hey, the scoreboard is 0-0, and I feel like that's kind of what happened. That's kind of the way it went. Not saying guys did it on purpose, but it's just a natural thing that happens in the league. If you watch games when the team's off to a hot start, the other team starts to come back because it's just, it's just something that sits with you. So we just got to continue to keep our feet on the pedal and just continue to, drive the stake in them when we up.
We joke about it because we're the ones sitting at home on our couches or in the stadium watching. You're actually living it.
Yeah.
But you're right. At the end of games, for all the noon kickoffs, there could be a bunch of games that look like blowouts.
Yeah.
But by the time you creep towards 3 o'clock, all of the games start to come together.
Yeah.
And you're right. Like, because Adam and I were both in the stadium yesterday watching the game, and we're sitting there, and we weren't counting a victory when it was 28-7. We were saying, okay, they got to keep going. They got to keep playing because we know how it is all around the league. It's very rare to see a team just get completely blown out. So, is that something you guys are talking about on the sidelines?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, guys, we're up by 3 touchdowns. We need 4.
Yeah.
We need 5.
I want to say it was just a thing, like one play at a time.
Yeah.
Like, hey, just one drive at a time. Like, we know we're in a good spot right now, but keep taking this thing one drive at a time. Don't get too high, don't get too low. We want to stay right there in the middle and just continue to take this thing one drive at a time. And, man, that one hurt, because we felt like we had it. And, it sucks, man, just to be, 0-4 right here sitting and talking to you guys. I feel like I wish it would have been a different situation and me not being out there to help those guys and contribute. So it's tough, but like I said, we just got to continue to get better and, just try to get one win.
It's no secret that you guys have a pretty banged up secondary right now, including yourself. Was there like an extra edge to those guys who were like that next man up mentality before the game? And then as the game's going on, as the lead starts to dwindle a little bit, is there something that you have to do to like keep those guys' heads up and say, hey, man, we got to keep playing. Like, we got 15 more minutes left. We got 10 more minutes of a game left. Like, there's still an opportunity to win this football game. Is there more coaching and more, not like cheerleading, but more like uplifting these guys because, the starters aren't out there. You guys aren't out there. You've got a lot of backups out there that are trying to, use that next man up mentality.
Yeah, exactly what it is. You hear guys come on like man, he kept walking. Hey man, look, one more drive, one drive at a time. Let's go.
Keep your head up. Stuff,
exactly.
Right?
I'm telling the guys, look, the game not over. Let's keep going. Keep y'all feet on the pedal. Put your feet on their necks. That's kind of the thing. And we have a young team. So a lot of guys haven't played a lot of NFL ball, so they really don't know how this thing goes. Because in college, when you look at it, you blowing a team out. The game is basically over. The second and third
you're
string.
standing up.
Yeah,
it's
over.
riling up the fans.
They're
all
singing
that
the fight
of
song.
Yeah.
Exactly. So in the NFL, it's a little different. So you just got to always have that finish mentality all the way, to the scoreboard. The clock hits 0.
It's Black and Abdallah. We're live with Eddie Jackson. We're presented by Miller Lite. It's Bears night in Chicago right here on ESPN 1000. So, Eddie, we look at it. I want to ask you, do you want to coach someday?
I mean, yeah, someday it's in my future. I feel like I'll be a good coach one day.
Because do you feel like with what Adam was asking you, coaching up or helping the younger guys, trying to look out for them, being a team captain, is that all stuff that kind of you register in the back of your mind saying, let me put this away for maybe I'll get an opportunity to do this, that, and the other, be a head coach in the league?
I don't view it like that. I enjoy doing it. You
Yeah.
know, I kind of did it at Alabama with the younger guys, and I feel like it just translated over when I got to the NFL because I had older guys that came in, they did the same thing, and it helped me a lot. So I feel like you got to repay the young guys, you know, the same favor, you know, passing down the knowledge, the things you learn from the older guys, the type of things that were done in me. I feel like I got to do to the younger guys to help them out and to have success in the NFL.
If you were to coach,
Yeah.
who would you be like more? Saban, Nagy, Eberflus.
Oh, man.
Come on, there's one answer. There's one answer.
I think I'll take a little bit of all three, you know, because Coach Saban, like he's just so strict, like when it comes to certain things. Nagy was just such a cool, like, player coach, and Flus kind of has both of those. You know, he played for Coach Saban, so he has that type of like that fire. Like you would see him get fired up sometimes, like you won't even expect it. So I feel like I take a little bit of everything from all three.
Another host on the station wanted us to ask the question: does Matt Eberflus get mad? Does he get angry at you guys?
Does he ever
Because
have those Saban moments?
The point was, listening to him talk to the media is what us fans and the media get to consume, and he's very even-keeled. He yesterday went on for about 2 minutes to start the press conference about all the positives that took place yesterday. Bears fans are pissed, after the loss, and so the question was, does he get mad at you guys?
I mean, he has his moments. Like he'll get fired up, but Coach Flus is kind of like he's like even killed. Like he can get fired up, but he's never gonna just see and just dwell on like all the bad. You know, he's gonna always look for positive situations out of everything. And I feel like I know the fans be mad, but don't nobody be more upset than us. Like let's just make that clear. Like we don't want to lose. Like we don't want to be 0-4. Like we don't want to lose. Like we never go into a game like, yeah, man, we finna lose this one. So don't nobody be more fired up than the guys who's actually on the field, you know. But I feel like he always try to look for a positive in every situation, and that's kind of a good trait for him, because as a player, like you want to play with someone like that. Like, hey, tell us when we're doing wrong, but also letting us know the things we did good. And I feel like he does a great job of that. And that keeps guys, you know, continue to want to battle for him, continue to go out there and want to bust their tail for him day in and day out.
Well, I think this city specifically, you know, if you go back to when we were kids, like Mike Ditka was a fiery head coach on the sidelines. That type and style of head coach seems to not be around as much in the NFL or in professional sports to begin with. And it just seems like it's a different era. You do have to encourage. You can correct, but you can't just flat out always be angry, always be mad.
We also had Lovie Smith, who was very even-keeled with the media, but then his former players will tell you, you never want that door to be closed because he will chew you out, and the media never saw that side of him.
I mean, times change. Like, even if you look at Coach Saban, he's not as crazy strict as he was with us. Like, I heard he done got more soft on the guys, so you have to, you have to change with the times. You know, players change. You know, especially with all this stuff going on.
Here's my question for you about Nick Saban. I waited a decent amount.
So Eddie,
I'm an Alabama
welcome
fan.
to the show. He's an obsessive
Roll Tide.
We love college football, so he's all about Alabama. And yes, Adam, you waited 22 minutes.
I waited enough time. So, Coach Saban, down 10 points to Texas, is on the sideline. Come on, guys, it's fine. We're good. He's up 3 scores against Mississippi State, chewing dudes out with 3 minutes left. What is that like?
Probably because they losing the attention to detail. And probably they getting too lax, too lazy. You know, being up, like I said, it's just a natural habit.
Because people make fun of it in the media all the time. Like, you see the videos, it's like Saban's up 25 points, 24 points. There's 2 minutes left on the clock and just chewing a dude out.
Yeah, because he wants you to stay locked in. Stay locked in on the attention to details. And, like, that's his thing. Like, he literally, like, he goes crazy about that. Like, the little things, Coach Saban is he's gonna chew you out for it. So I mean, down 10, the Texas is a good team. You got to rally the guys up. Like you can't go chew them out. You know, like I said, times change.
Oh yeah.
To us, he probably would have chewed us out. Now it's like guys are a little softer. You know, you got to be more cautious on how you approach them and the things you say.
All right.
Eddie, as being one of the team captains, fans have paid attention to the storyline all week. It's been up and down since the trade deadline last year. Chase Claypool being in a Bears uniform. Matt Eberflus has spoken about Chase. He was inactive. He was then told by the team to not be around over the weekend, and then he's not going to be around the team this week. As a captain of the team, what do you make of this situation, what's going on with Chase Claypool and a teammate of yours, and the way the Bears are kind of handling this situation?
I mean, it's a lot of different things I think take into account with Chase. I'm not in the meeting room with him, so I'm not pretty sure what goes on behind closed doors, but just Chase is just trying to stay locked in. I feel like Chase, he views himself as a certain caliber of a player, and if he doesn't get that, you know how receivers are. They want the ball, and you can kind of get, in your feelings a little bit if you don't get the ball. So I'm not too sure like what's going on with that. They just told us that he was going to be inactive, and then next thing you know, you see that it's trades talk. So you got to leave that stuff upstairs.
Yeah.
When we've heard from Justin Fields and DJ Moore both saying that, they've gone over to him on the sidelines, especially, after the Bucs game where he was caught, not really giving a lot of effort blocking and that kind of stuff. And Matt Eberflus said today, we take everything into account with, practices and walkthroughs and everything. And everything led to that. How much does Matt Eberflus let you guys kind of police yourselves with that kind of stuff, with the loafs and the hit system and the hits principles and all that kind of stuff before he gets involved, before other coaches get involved?
I mean, he gonna always be involved in that. It's no such like you got to go out there and do your job. We know that, and I feel like that again with Chase is like accountability thing. Like if he let that slide with Chase, then other guys gonna start to slip. So, and if you start doing that, then you got weak links in your chain. So it's just things like that he's going to hold everyone to that same level of accountability, and I feel like that's what's needed. Especially where we're trying to head. That's what's needed. There's no one's is going to be held to a higher or lower standard than anyone on the team. Like we all going to be held to that high standard. We got to go out there, perform, practice, hustle. Like the hits principle, like we really live by that. That's something he really preaches, and we really embrace that as players.
Well, as you guys sit here 0-4, and you kind of set your sights on the Commanders to get this first win on Thursday Night Football, do you guys pay attention week to week on what's going on in the rest of the division? I know that when you have the divisional games, I'm sure it's the focus, but are you guys aware of what Green Bay is doing from week to week, Minnesota is doing, the Lions? Are you keeping your eyes on them?
I'm a little bit like you watch the games here and there whenever you get a chance. So we definitely pay attention to it. I won't say that we just all into it, but we definitely check it out from week to week. Especially we was watching the Green Bay versus Detroit game. Was that Monday?
It was Thursday. It was Thursday night last week.
Yeah, so we definitely pay attention to it a little bit. And man, we behind. We got a lot of catching up to do. Like I said, it starts with one win. We get one win, it's gonna turn everything around. Like the momentum's gonna change. Everything is just going to turn around.
Well, we felt it in the stadium yesterday because in the first three quarters, this fan base desperately wants to support your team. And it's all we want is a team that's competitive with a chance to do something at the end of the season. And we felt it. People were amped.
Yeah.
And then, as it kind of came apart at the end, it goes back to fans calling the show, all of us hosts having talking points of this seems like it's the same thing. It's the repetitive, the same exact formula that we've seen since week 7 of last year when you guys beat New England. And so, when you kind of look at that and you look at what the other teams are doing, it does feel from a fan's perspective like you guys just need one to kind of build upon.
Momentum is a big thing. And shout out to all the fans. That was them home games, that's a different type of energy. So we definitely appreciate that. Not the boos so much, but I get it. We understand it. We don't like when they boo us. Especially our offense because it kills the confidence. So cheer them up when things go wrong. That's the only thing I have to say. But we definitely understand it, and everyone knows how the NFL goes. One win, things will start to change. Guys will be more up and excited. Man, I don't even know. I didn't even know we was on this longer of a losing streak until somebody said it the other day. I'm I can't remember last time I smiled after that game. So that feeling sucks. Going home, having family in town, everything, and you can't even go home and enjoy yourself or smile, go out to eat and enjoy yourself. So we definitely want to win. It's like I mean, like we want it as bad as anyone. Like
Well,
we
you
want
mentioned the crowd, like before the opener of the Packers game.
It was electric.
I haven't heard Soldier Field that loud for a non-playoff game ever.
Yeah.
It was, and even some of that came back yesterday a little bit when you guys were up a lot. And so, this fan base is very hungry for a win and for something productive on the football field. You guys play Thursday night. I know that everybody wants to play on Sunday night. Everybody wants to play Monday night under the lights. Do you like Thursday night? It is a primetime game, but do you like Thursday night football? Do you like the kind of, especially after a loss, it might be better to just get that taste out of your mouth?
Exactly, because it's a quick turnaround. So now it's a chance for us to go out there and prove ourselves another week, So, I mean, I love playing on primetime games. You're the center of attention. Everyone's watching. So, I mean, it's an important – we always say it's an important game because it's the next one. We don't look at all these games different. Every game is important to win. And like I said, man, like the crowd, like the fans, like we get it. Like it's – trust me, like we just trying to get this one win and turn this thing around, man. Like we get it, like we understand. Like it's frustrating, but we definitely
also
get a win.
Like trust us with this. Like if you guys do win and have a successful season, this city embraces this team.
Yes.
Unlike anything else.
I tell all the young guys.
Baseball's split, Cubs, Sox. Basketball. If the Bulls are in the playoffs, people are really into it. Nothing is like Bears support.
And I tell all the young guys that, the new guys, I'm like, bro, that 2018 team, when we was winning, the city was it
was on fire.
It was different. Like, it's so electric. Like, it's so much love. Like, it's no fans like the Bears fans. I don't care what no one says. I mean, like I said, like, and I tell the guys that all the time, like, bro, watch when we start winning. Like, just watch the feeling of you just going downtown, having a steak dinner with your family. Just watch the feeling. Like that's something that I want them to experience because I got a chance to experience it. So it sucks because it's been so long that I experienced that. So we just trying to get back to that.
You got a little
feeling.
taste. You want more.
Exactly.
I know because Abdallah and I around training camp, we were up at Hallis Hall a bunch. We've been inside Hallis Hall. We've seen all of the different kind of artifacts and the history of the team. How much do you or others kind of are aware of like what happened in the 80s with this team? And I know that Coach Flus does do a good job of when new players come in explaining the history of the team. But like it really was different the way the celebrity of the 85 Bears and what followed after that and the way the city embraced the team. How aware of you?
I'm very aware of it. Like when I first came here, Miss McCaskey came and talked to us about the Green Bay Packers. So, and I came from Alabama, where it's huge. It's the same thing. Big on tradition, the legacy behind everything, what footballs mean. So I was kind of used to it, and just to see to come to a team, an NFL team like that, it's like crazy. And you, like you said, you can see. You walk down there, you see all the Hall of Famers, all the guys, the pictures, the names, the numbers that's hanging up around the building. It's like, man, like I want to get that one day, So we definitely take that into account and about who came and paved the way before us and the things they did and what they had to sacrifice. So that's why we really want to get this thing turned around, and especially me, to be a part of a championship in Chicago. I mean, come on, man, that's historic. Like that'd be legendary.
It's also like the other side too, right? Like you guys, like especially the younger guys coming in, like you playing in Alabama, like rivalries. Like like the rivalry of having the Packers game at the beginning of the season, but also knowing like the Packers are the rival. Like like you said, next game, it's the next game. It's important because it's the next one, but also like division games, like younger players that come in need to know, hey, like it's Packer week.
Exactly.
Like it's Vikings week, it's Lions week, it's Packers week. And Packer week is different than everything else.
And it's so honest to you, like the fact that every time I watch the Packers, I can't stand them. Like I always root for the other team. Even though Detroit was playing them,
that's what everybody.
It's crazy because Detroit is in our division as well. But it's like
it's something about the
so
colors.
Against Green Bay.
It's the color.
The colors don't work. The whole thing.
It's crazy.
When it gets cold out, they're all in the hunting gear. They're all like they got the blocks of cheese. It doesn't. I mean, if you grow up in Illinois and around the Chicagoland area, I think you naturally have a healthy rivalry with those who live in Wisconsin. And so then when the two teams have a back and forth, it makes it all the better, especially for us who have grown up in this area for our entire lives.